A few months ago. The idea is that you are using Echoing Deeps and Vesuva, along with a lot of self mill, which helps Echoing Deeps actually copy Eldrazi Temple or Vesuva, or you can also copy Vesuva to copy a temple that's already in play. To get as many Eldrazi Temples in play while filling up the graveyard. Getting as many Eldrazi Temples in play lets you cast All Is Dust into Emrakul pretty often, especially when you have lots of card selection from with cards like Ancient Stirrings, Traverse the Ulvenwald, Grapple the Past, Binding the Titans, and also like One Ring to that you can play on turn 3 pretty often to buy you time. A lot like really like ideally you go in turn 3 Ring, turn 4 All Is Dust, turn 5 Emrakul is kind of like the what you're looking to do. Um, All Is Dust seems to be a better position than it was when we were playing this deck. Where you get to All Is Dust when an opponent has Leyline of the Guildpact in play, destroying all of their non-land permanents, which rules. Including Side of Draco, which is I guess still is sometimes not All Is Dustable, but when they have Leyline and Guildpact, does that All Is Dust. Also, Binding of the Titans is like kind of weirdly the best enabler for this deck. It's kind of weird, but it's 2 mana. Each player mills 3. Then chapter 2 is exile 2 target creature cards from a graveyard, and then chapter 3 you get to return a creature or land from your graveyard. It's an enchantment type for Emrakul and Traverse, which is really important. But it is also now graveyard hate in the like Gorios format. Like not amazing graveyard hate, but just kind of have that main deck interaction against their combo is kind of funny to me. Um, Grapple the Past is kind of the big change. I think this card is a lot better than Satyr Wayfinder. There's a chance it's like actually better than Binding of the Titans. I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of valuing the mill 3, but it's almost just like an instant or like an immediate Binding of the Titans. But the problem is like Binding is also like you could always just slam this turn 2. Grapple on turn 2 is like won't always hit exactly what you want. It's kind of an interesting dynamic, but could just see like the split of going 4-3 instead of 4-3 in favor of Grapple instead of Binding. They're both also unique types. This is the only instant. This is the only enchantment. But yeah, I think it's a good time to be all is dusting. So I thought it was a good time to circle back. Am I correct that the stream right now is like 12? I wanted to play more. I was playing more Surveillance for a little while when I was working on this list. Which I was gonna play. I was playing more Surveillance though, and I ended up finding that because we're at Echoing Deep's Vesuva deck, we're kind of like, oh, there's the Hedge Maze. We're kind of like capped-ish, I feel, on the number of tap lands we have. So I think we just want to play one. We'll see though. Creature in the graveyard. Playing the mandatory Leyline of the Guildpact, Side of Draco with In Search of Greatness to cast Emrakul for free. It's a lot of cards. I don't love that In Search of Greatness doesn't do anything, really, unless there's a Sign of Draco in play and an Emrakul in your hand, but boy, does it sound sick. Oh, we're up against the Living End. Interesting. We have 4 Endurances in our sideboard. We also have this Binding of the Titans, which will be kind of awkward, I suppose, since it'll mill each player for 3 a little bit like before this Living End comes down. If I was in the play, the Binding would be better. That being said, we do have 4 copies of All Is Dust in our deck, but also getting Griefed is tough. They're also probably playing Force of Negation. Oh, right. Yeah, we put this in the yard. That's pretty good. Not necessarily game winning, but that'll help. Wednesday, we got double surgical last game Wednesday. Right. We put Heliod into a match of, or a half league, or we played 4 matches of Anviltron, and then my opponent like went like punt, double surgical. I can't win, which was tough. All right, I'm gonna cast the Binding. Backfire a little bit. I need this Emrakul to become castable. Oh, I just noticed that they missed a land drop, and they just concede. They concede the match. Let's go, brother. Okay, there's been a lot of softy wafties in the league this week. I feel like there's been a higher density of this kind of stuff happening this week than like any week in recent memory, which I'll take. 1-0. We played the match. I think I'll just say Against Yogg. Yogg matchup's kind of interesting. You need to have like a fast All is Dust. Didn't find a temple either. I'm gonna take the Heath and go like explore into Hedge Mage. 0-2 in die rolls, not the best place to be, I guess. Yeah, I think that last concession was like, this isn't a real deck. I'm not gonna waste my time playing against it. I know they also missed their second land. So like my opponent last round, like they were tilted because they missed their second land. They were tilted because I surveilled an Emrakul into the yard turn 1, and they were tilted because they saw my like janky hand with the grief. And I think it was the combination of these factors that caused them to scoop the match early. Delighted Halfling, Young Wolf, 3 cards in hand. Get the Grazer down. They said in chat they had a work call. Oh, I didn't see it. Game 1. Well, we were gonna win game 1 of game 1, match 1, and then we had 4 endurance post board. It was likely our game to lose, you know. Yeah, I'm blocked. They'll sack, it's okay. So if we can find a temple in the top bunch and Jesse doesn't combo, then we can All is Dust in 2 turns. Maybe if we were on the play, this would have been fast enough, right? Where this would have been the board state, then we All is Dust, but we're on the draw, so a little slow. Might as well get the Hedge Mage first. Creature in the yard. No copy. Echoing Deeps comes in untapped. Doesn't copy something. Oh, sorry, we already had a creature in the yard for the greed. You have a bunch of Cursed Totems in the sideboard here for the matchup. And we also... Cursed Totem is pretty fun where it doesn't die to All is Dust, and you can find it off Ancient Stirrings. There's also an artifact type for Emrakul, which is like the one type I think we don't have at the moment. Wait, Jesse already has second chord. Usually like just concede to the young wolves being tapped. Toadie's in. Oh, sorry, we have one ring for artifacts. Sorry, I was like, we have no artifacts. We have a good artifact too. Usually I don't like ring too much against Yogg, but I think this is a matchup we can keep it in. I think I'll do something. I want to be trimming these 2s. I probably don't want to go down to like less than 5. So maybe I can cut an Explore. Maybe Grazer's worse than Explore. Endurance is not something I usually like against the Yogg deck. It's just like what are you hoping to do with Endurance? Get rid of 1 Young Wolf? It's just like we're mostly just trying to like All is Dust them, Cursed Totem them, Emrakul them. Emrakul is really nice because like if they have the Yogg combo, or if they're like about to be set up for the Yogg combo, you just win the game. Right, keeping this. We'll watch because of classes. I finally told. That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining. Hope classes are going well. Glad you're still liking the stream. I haven't found a temple yet. Why is Charm in the deck? Yeah, I was testing Charm for a while. Charm is bad in the deck because we have a ton of colorless lands. I was playing like multiple Yavamayas, trying to like... I was trying to figure it out. I agreed I was like on board, but yeah, it was not working. Land. Fetch land would be good so I could like surveil into 4th land maybe. Ooh. Even better. Yeah, so Analyze the Pollen is also something I tested. It's worse than Traverse in this deck, which is kind of a bummer. I was kind of hoping that Traverse would be the... Or Analyze the Pollen would be the better card. I was playing like a bunch of Generosence, and it just wasn't the better card. Kind of simply put, I guess. Double Thoughtseize is pretty good here. We have found an Eldrazi Temple. I might as well run out the Grazer. Oh, sorry, I could have also put Jegantha into my hand there. A little bit oopsie oopsie. Here's a Grist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can always dust next turn. We'll likely be saving it, even if we have the ability to cast it this next turn here. Cast another Explorer. We've drawn an Emrakul. So I think now that there's an Emrakul in my hand, I'm gonna just grab a Forest here. Make sure I've got all his dust available. All his dust also adds the tribal or kindred or whatever they're calling it now. Magical Light, it says tribal. Type to the yard for Emrakul. And then would also add a creature for Arboreal Grazer. Yeah, and it's just like Analyze the Pollen is like you're exiling cards from your graveyard in your Emrakul deck to like find Emrakul. It's just, and it's also if it was like Investigate Evidence 6 and like just a single generous end to turn it on, it would be closer. But it's just like Collect Evidence 8 is just, it's so much. I think Leyline of the Guildpact, Draco, Leyline Binding could fit into this deck. I feel like the card synergies work well together. Well, one problem is Side of Draco and Leyline are going to be like, ooh, all his dust gets dried over. It's fun. One problem is like you're not gonna be able to cast your domain cards without a Leyline in play, basically ever, or it would be very difficult to. Like right now, we only have 4 fetch lands in the deck. Someone suggested In Search of Greatness in addition to all this stuff, which was pretty funny. Okay, so gonna all his dust here, almost assuredly. Let's see what we draw. Draw Boseiju. Alright, so Emrakul costs 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we draw any untapped land, I think the only tapped land at the moment. Oh, we have 4 Vesuvas. We got a lot of tapped lands. But any untapped land is a dub. But yeah, I don't know. You could put Scion. I'm also okay, wait, sorry. Don't put Scion Leyline in your All Is Dust deck. You know what I mean? It's like I think like the goal of the reason this deck is interesting to me is that you can always dust the Scion Ley lines. I don't think you also just when you're playing it in your deck. Okay, I cast Emrakul, the Promised End. Why? Yes, I would like to cast a Yawgmoth. Well, maybe not. Usually I like to cast Yawgmoth and like combo off. I guess that's not something we can really do here. I guess I'll just attack with the Young Wolf. And then consume the food from the goose, or with the goose. Lose 3 life. Yeah, the problem is like I'm just letting Jesse like have a turn with a Yawgmoth already in play. I'm just like asking to lose the game here. When instead I'm setting up for her to be like, she can cast Yawgmoth, I think she can't really do much with it, and I'm just gonna put her to 3, and then the Yawgmoth doesn't do much. Shock the land since we'll play it anyways. Well, then that lets Jessie play another land on her turn, and like if she's gonna play it anyways and shock anyways, then like why not just make her do it here, right? Why not make her like do? I guess you know that she has drawn up Boseiju and I've been punished, but I think this was correct. Shock lands, you have lethal attack. I mean, it's not lethal. This was fine. Also putting her to 3 here is also just GG. But all his dust is GG. She draws 1 dead. Yeah, but it's also like, she could also play an additional 1 drop if I played the land for her there. It also matters. Okay. I'm gonna draw game 3. The draw score is like a little bit worse because of Bowmaster, I guess. I'll play another Grazer. Also, more creatures are relevant because we have a lot of sorceries. Maybe I want to be going down a ring and like up a binding. Kind of like that. Reveal Jegantha. I'll get my 7. I'm gonna click this keep button. I think I could put back the Emrakul. Not 100% sure. Love to draw like Grazer on turn 1. Why is Promise in the Eldrazi Tracer deck easiest to cast? Yeah. Ooh. All the other Eldrazi you may notice cost like 10 mana. Emrakul's like oftentimes 6, 7, 8. We may be getting like Boseiju or something, but I'm gonna cast my Cursed Totem. Get in for 2. Plays a Grist. Insect token. So I'm going to go ahead and traverse for a basic forest. This just ensures I have the ability to cast all his dust here on turn 4. And I really get to stick it to Dryad Arbor in this deck, huh? Goodbye, Jesse's board. See you next time. The beer for the sticks on Slayers. I mean, just whoever cast Emrakul first probably wins. Although maybe not. What's 9 through 12 Twimbles? I see Vesuva as a thespian stage. It's Echoing Deeps. What's cool is that if Vesuva's in the yard and you Echoing Deeps with Vesuva, you can copy a temple that's also already in play. Alright, let me cast this Binding of the Titans first. I could take an extra ping from this Bowmaster. Famous last word, maybe. I'll take a temple so that Emrakul should be castable at this point. We have to find an Emrakul. But what's nice about this deck is it's like we have Traverses, and we have Ancient Stirrings, and we have Bindings, and we have Grapple the Past. So we just have so many ways to dig for Emrakul in addition to having 4. And we also have this All Is Dust too. Buy us some time. What are the bad matchups? Fast decks, I think, are kind of can be an issue. Tron is, I think Tron is your worst matchup. Go up to 4 Boseiju post board. This is just Tipster Tron. I don't know. It's got a lot of card selection. It's like, it's kind of its own unique thing. It is similar to Tron in the fact that it's playing a lot of big colorless threats, but it's using, you know, a bunch of Eldrazi Temples instead of the Tron lands. It gets to be a little bit more resilient, I think. To land hate, but less, you know, more vulnerable to graveyard hate. Coupe de Gras, thank you for the 15 months. Thank you, welcome back. Scales, yeah, Scales, yeah. Things that are not weak to All Is Dust can be a problemo. I would imagine that Jesse at the moment is consulting the list for Chord of Calling, and then I'd be surprised if Chord for less than 3 was left up. Maybe just like Chord main phase for another Grist. Could be a Rexage, but I would kind of doubt it. Does she not have a Rexage? Because like we showed the All Is Dust game too. Although some people are just cutting the Rexage from Yogg, which I think is probably wrong. Why Binding of the Titans? It's a very good Emrakul enabler where it gets a lot of types in the yard, including the enchantment itself. The Graveyard Hate is actually pretty relevant in the Goryo's meta, and then it can either buy back a temple or it can buy back your Emrakul. Just does a lot. Okay, so it does have the Rexage. We gain 2. Maybe alright, if I cast this now, I don't get the return a creature or land ability, but it also doesn't really matter. I don't have Emrakul in the yard. just take 5 less damage, you know. Emmy? Yeah, it's pretty easy to top deck an Emrakul. We have 4 Stirrings, 4 Traverse, 4 Emrakul, Binding, Grapple. Channels Takenuma. Kind of hard to not take the Blood Artist. Oh, I don't know that it matters a ton. Okay, it does take Grist, so... Funny enough, Grist can destroy itself. Should Yogg be running 3 Boseijus? I feel like 2 Boseijus and a Rexage is like just enough Cursed Totem hate, but do what you gotta do, you know. Okay. 2-0. Keep probably put back Explore. Could put back Emrakul. I think I should probably just be putting back Emrakul because it's just so easy to top deck one. I hate when all is dust. I much prefer all to be other stuff. Maybe that's an MH3 card. All is other stuff. Run Yogg again. Well, if we can beat Jesse on Yogg, we can probably beat anybody on Yogg. Likely, I'm just gonna Vesuva the Mortuary on turn 1. We'll see what happens. Arboreal Temple, I probably will just go Stirrings into like Explore Vesuva, copy the Temple. Although I could also try to Stirrings for Temple to take that line. Your basic Forest. Yeah, I think I think I just need a Temple so badly. Ugh, extra Vesuvas. We'll find it. We're probably Binding on turn 2. Name Shaman with their Cavern. And they suspend Profane Tutor. Okay, we're not playing against Yogg. What the fuck? Let's discuss the Binding this turn. Oh, it's the Cragwick Cremator deck? Okay. Interesting. A lot of looks at a Temple. Didn't find enough Binding or Stirrings. I was looking forward to more of the mono black mid range. Yeah, I mean, I thought about playing it, but you know, it's just kind of tough to like stick to the same thing over and over and over. Just I don't want to just become the mono black mid range guy. I guess that's a bit dramatic. I might play another league of it today though. I'm not sure if I want to play that or if I want to play the Seismic Assault Creativity deck. Emrakul didn't actually have Vigilance. They were just saying that because I could cast another one. When you like attack with a legendary creature, play a second copy. Sometimes it's like, Vigilance. Took an Explore. What do we draw? 2 Explorers. I'm gonna start off and copy the Mortuary here. And then I can go. Could return this next turn with the Binding. Sure. Okay, so we're gonna have Delirium next turn for top deck Traverses. We'll see. We'll see if we get Cragwick Cremator to death. Although I guess it wouldn't be to death. It would be to 4 maybe if they discard the Emrakul. Oh, they Thoughtseize themselves, and then they Goria's Vengeance me. And then they also have a Lightning Bolt in their hand, but that wouldn't kill me. Because I'd be at 4. I mean, let's see if we can rebuild. I'll play it out. Okay, not a bad draw. Kind of chilling if we draw a forest. I don't know. Rebuild from 1 life. Yeah, whatever. I mean, their hand doesn't really do anything. I'm actually gonna cast the Binding here. I know that if they draw a red source, they can bolt me. But if I mill a creature, I can gain life out of bolt range. So let's just hope a little bit. Okay, they drew Bowmasters. I am dead too. Nice, stop that. People literally just putting Bowmaster in every deck still, I guess. Let's bring in these Endurances. All is Dust looking poor. Maybe I'll play like 1 copy. They're playing Bowmasters. They probably have some board state. Maybe more than that. Also, does Ring stop Cremator? Kragan, Wick. Okay, it does deal damage. Ring to stop the card for a turn. Let's play 2 All's Dust. Just pick your poison potential for Leyline. Leyline of the Void. We have All's Dust. Maybe we should have 3 All's Dust. 2 down 2. No, there are no battles worth playing. The closest one would be the green Magen of Urgamon, but it's just not. Just not. Yeah, protection put off to target themselves. Well, they can also target. Oh, they can target creatures. I'm gonna deepen the tank on their sideboarding here. On the. Right, let's keep. I'm gonna just grab my Surveil Lantern 1, save the Traverse 2, pitch the Endurance. Wishing Exploration was in Modern. It would be super fun, but pretty broken. I love how ubiquitous the Surveil lands are. Graveyard Echoing Deeps. I really need more of this effect. What, Burgeoning? Is that card not already legal? I guess this is good against me. How many All's Dust did I set it on? 3? Okay. Well, I guess All's Dust is worse at dealing with Alpine Moon, huh? Good. I have a Boseiju I could traverse for, potentially. I could also Echoing Deeps Urza Saga. I don't have anything I can tutor off the Saga. This could be just a... Is this like a 2/4/4 kind of game? Probably not. Let me just hold the Deeps for now. Do you think Veteran Explorer is too good for Modern, even without the new MH3 spell? I mean, with the new MH3 spell, I think it would be an incredibly big mistake to print, and so we don't really need to think about without it, right? Because the card exists and is getting printed, and looks likely like it cannot be printed with that card existing. You know what I mean? It's like people always ask about like hypothetical situations for like cards existing in Modern, but it's just not that relevant. Without it, I don't know. I don't really care. You know what I mean? I was always hoping for reprint. Yeah, I mean, like they might. I don't know if they reprint it. It'd be a big mistake, probably. But I certainly think that with the new card, it would be a huge mistake. Okay, the Kragwin Cremator, deal me 0. 1 ring. I'll cast this a Traverse here so that All Is Dust is a live top deck. So maybe I'll play the 4th All Is Dust for game 3. It looks like it's rules in this matchup. If we can become lucky enough to make it to game 3, I guess. copy Cavernous Souls for fun. I guess I could copy the Saga, like extra chump blocker next turn. Take 8. Close to the image release, can you do YouTube video of like top 10 most wanted cards previously printed, not legal in modern? Probably not, because like two of my like top 5. I don't think I even had 10, but like 2 of my top 5 have already been confirmed printed, which is fun for me. Okay, we get Yargle, GG. Nice Alpine Moon. 2-1. I think probably the blue culture deck, was it not good enough? I don't know. I feel like I just kind of kept experimenting a bit too much with it, and like our earlier builds were like the patchwork build was the best one by a lot, and I kept trying to push it, and it was just a deck that like had already been kind of maximized, I think. No, I don't want to see Careful Study. I want to see a card that is in between Careful Study, Faithless Looting, and Salvaging. There's just a lot of design space we haven't touched yet. Ooh, mill 2 Grazers for 2 life. Yeah, if Careful Study was legal right now, it would be top 3 modern card probably, top 5 at least, possibly number 1. We're getting turn 2'd by Titan. We get to bring in the Pick Your Poisons and the Boseijus here. Seemed like they had a very close, like they almost were able to turn to me. And they had to think about it for a second, so let's you know, go through the motions here. As we await our death. Draw 2, discard 3 for 1 mana. I don't know. Maybe that's even better. Let's not give Gorya's Careful Study. Yeah. What I want is I want 1 mana, draw 1, discard 1, and that card can flash back for 2 mana. Maybe that card can flash back for 1 mana, but that's maybe a bit too busted. Okay, bring in these cards. All this is pretty bad. We can go down like 2 forests and bring in 3 Boseijus. Not the easiest matchup. But retrace instead of flashback? You're crazy. I don't know. You maybe like retrace 4 mana. But it's just one thing is Magic players are just like way too focused on like cards they're nostalgic for, cards they know, cards that like they've played with in other formats. And when it comes to like MH3 and like new sets, like most of the discussion is just around old cards we played with and like what old cards you want. But for me, I would like the set to be almost entirely new stuff. Let's get some new shit in there. I'm just gonna mulligan that hand. Very confusing one. Pernicious Deed and a whole lot of new stuff. I think Pernicious Deed would be like close to unplayable. It would be like a super fringe playable sideboard card, which I know is like all you boomers of Pernicious Deed are like, you don't have Pernicious Deed, dude. That shit. But I'm of the opinion that the card would suck. Or be, I don't know, incredibly mid. Draw 1, then discard with rebound. That's draw 1, discard with rebound is the best card in Modern by a lot. You Phoenix player, you think I don't know what you're gonna do with a 1 mana rebounding loot? You're gonna put two Phoenixes in play on turn 2 like every game. Come on, brother. You don't think I know what you do with that? That would be unequivocally the best card in Modern. The advantage having creatures are no longer phyrexian. At least nobody plays Plague Engineer anymore, huh? Brother, I've registered Blossoming Defense in the sideboard of Phoenix because it like stops endurance and because it has rebound. Rebound is so good. Do you really want this ring? I'm gonna take the ring and then Traverse for a forest, pick your poison them. We can pick up Boseiju to play our ring next turn. White Hedge Maze is real land, I know it's small, but Island is merfolk. Okay, yeah, no, I'm on board for switching. I didn't think it mattered, but you're right, it does matter. He decks with Reshape. I'm like pretty confident that Reshape is not a legal modern card. Maybe I'm thinking of Replenish. I'm not sure what card you're asking about, at the very least. Do you ever play old school RuneScape? I mean, when it was out, I haven't played like the rebooted sewers or whatever. Reshape. I've cast Reshape. I really thought that card had a different name. I don't know. It's not very good. You mostly when you're reshaping lotuses into play. Another ring. So I have 4 types in the yard at the moment. So they just Oda War. That's okay. It's actually, I think that's maybe just a net positive for me here. I'm gonna grab an Emrakul. But I feel like I just get to go like ring into Emrakul. There's like not a ton they can do about it. I guess they can kill me on my turn sometimes. If they get like Mirror Pool and they copy Titan on my turn. I could also maybe just like Boseiju the Dryads. That won't work. Didn't you play Reshape in Tommy Shell like 2 years ago? Probably. It's been. I don't usually have that. I don't have a super long memory for decks. You know what I mean? I just play so much. Okay. So I could go explore. So if I drew a different land, I could go Boseiju into Grazer. Now I'll just go Boseiju into Stirrings, I guess. Have to take a Heath. Still only 4 types, but Emrakul is castable here at least. I don't really know why they went for the haste land here when I had protection from everything. Maybe they forgot about it. Yeah, Miracle Valakut Titan upkeep is how you beat the ring. Kind of new tech. But I should just be able to like Emrakul them and make them kill themselves. Especially if they get some Valakuts here. Is the new bear going to replace Titan? Yeah. What's the new bear? What are we talking? What card? Probably not. What is the card? Takes a lot to replace this freaking card. Boseiju's a temple. Oh. That cut me off of Emrakul. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't have a fetchable forest. And Legend Rule of Boseiju. The legendary one from Blue. Let's see the card. Let me please show me the card. Okay, they're super dead here. Okay. Game 3, G3. I assume they mean this one. No is the answer. I just want to see like how close it is. Power toughness is equal to the number of lands you control. ETB mill 4, return all lands from your graveyard back from tap. No, it's just a very different effect. This card is worse than Aftermath and Analyst also. But it does a very different thing from Titan. It's not going to replace it. Certainly a cool card. Could you play both in a Sunken Citadel Castle Garenbrig deck? Triple Deep Sound. The mulligan my 7. They packed and you Emrakul them. Can you choose not to pay for pact? Yeah, but they have to have pacted the turn prior. Let's keep this on the draw on 6, I think. You know, we can find our lands with the stirrings. We have a lot of lands in the deck. We have a pick your poison. Okay, mull to 6. 3 cards left in their hand already. Eldrazi Temple? Done a really poor job of, like, finding the card Temple super early, is what it is. I can Vesuva copying Crumble Vestige if I need to pick your poison this turn, which is kind of fun. I do really want to slam the One Ring next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and explore. And... doesn't really matter. Awkward. It's maybe okay to slam the ring and just lose the land. I think it's okay also to decide not to. There's a temple. Let's keep the temple. Yeah, we lost to the Cremator deck. Pretty bad, actually. Does feel like we kind of have the same plan we had last time, just chain rings until we... cast Emrakul. Love to find a pick your poison here off the top. Not quite that lucky. Nice that they can't really do much this turn, also. That's my opponent's have for blue. I thought I was about to get, like, freaking negated. Titan used to play, like, negate, disdainful stroke in the sideboard. A long time ago, before any of you were born. Tell me what you think a Necrotic Ooze deck would look like. It would look like a Goryo's Vengeance combo with Atraxa and Griselbrand. It's like, why would you play Necrotic Ooze instead? Swan Song Truther, yeah. I'm just gonna play another ring. And Spell Pierced by Titan before. Yeah, when they have like a tricky sideboard, it is certainly tough to play against them. Always like the line of making your opponent cast a pack they couldn't pay for. Yeah. It used to be like stock for Titan players to play Hive Mind plus plus their packs. It's so cool. They bounced Otawara. Plus I'm playing a one-turn kill like Thassa's Oracle and Leveler in the sideboard of Creativity. I don't know, like, what matchup is this, like, really for? Obviously, like, the worst part of this plan is, like, if you just draw either half of the combo before you have Creativity X equals 2, you can't win the game. Unless you, like, play Valakut Awakening it back. It's a big problem. It's only 5 mana after the Titan here. Besieges me again. Should still be able to... Well, I guess they just have 2 Besieges. Oh. Only 4 types. Yeah, I need to draw another Eldrazi Temple. I guess I could Boseiju into turn here. Maybe that was good. I think I just kind of want to take the draw. Okay, so this costs 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I could get very lucky on my mills if I mill 3 new types. 0 new types. Lovely. So we go Echoing Deeps, copy a Temple. This entered untapped, we'd be cooking. And then I think I'm just going to... So do I Boseiju Bounce Land? Do I Boseiju the Amulet? I feel like I'm not Boseijuing the Amulet. I think I'm just going to like... I think there's a very good chance, especially with their Ring on 4, that they draw more Amulets. And so I think it's probably good to like go after the bounce land that they play for turn. Although I guess it's if they just have multiple Titans, maybe it's going to be a problem. Yeah, I think the new green force is really, really good. And they're just going to Valkyrie. I have 2 Boseijus up. Oh, shit. I was definitely... Oh, wait. Okay, I could still... Hold on, sorry. So they... If I Boseiju the Dryad... They still have 1 extra land drop to play, but only 1 extra one. And then I can Boseiju the Bounce Land to stop them from casting another Titan main phase 1. Boseiju the Haste Land? Maybe just stop them from casting another Titan in the first place at the moment. My opponent plays a Kessig Wolf Run as their only other land for turn. At the moment, they can't. Oh, they're going to... Okay, so if they Kessig Wolf Run, it's plus 8 mana. 9, 10. So this is 10, 16, 20, minus 6, 14. Like I die exactly because of the ring. So yeah, I'll Boseiju one of the bounce lands here. Because I want this to be their plan. I want the plan to be Kessig Wolf Run. I don't want them to like pivot. Boseiju the token. Ooh, yeah, Boseiju the token and like make them spend all their mana. That's actually that. That's way better. They also may target the construct, right? We get to know what they target before we block, which is something they have to for it to be lethal. Let's go. Oh. Played around it. It's okay, though. This isn't even lethal, but... Right, this is 16 plus 4. I could just block like this and go to 1. I guess I'll... And if I Boseiju them, though, like they literally can't do anything else. They don't have a land drop to play. If I Boseiju them, they could win the game this turn with via Grazer. So why shouldn't I just block like this and not use my Boseiju? I would take 13, then 2, go to 1. Then I would Emrakul them and almost certainly win the game. I also get to gain 2 off the binding. I can't really think of a convincing reason to not block like this. And the reason to not Boseiju is we will just maybe lose to an Arboreal Grazer. My opponent has 10 cards in their hand. I mean, they would have already used Grazer if they had it, I guess. Ring damage. What about ring damage? But also, oh, their ring damage? I don't know what we're talking about. Okay. Target Dryad Grazer, gain 2. And I can just not use my ring this turn in order to not be dead if somehow I get another upkeep. They didn't pact last turn, right? Ooh, I guess I overtapped and now I don't have Boseiju up. So I guess I'll just play Boseiju so I have Boseiju up. I will tap their ring and their upkeep, so they go to 9. Guess they don't currently... Okay, I gotta figure this out, I guess. Does Spike know how to play Amulet Titan? Okay, so we get Teleria West, Simic Growth Chamber. As you maybe do it. Play all the delegates. I was thinking about like the. I'm obviously gonna keep. I wasn't sure. Are we surveilling turn one or not? I think I'm just gonna stirrings. Okay. Kind of like the best find, so I can just turn 3 ring on the play, despite it being the only find here. Second Yawgmoth opponent, although our hand is like I think significantly better than it was last time. Then I think I'm just gonna surveil. I have a land for next turn. What's the earliest deck can cast Emrakul? I'm not sure like the actual like it's probably possible on turn 4. I think we've done turn 4. I don't think you can ever do a turn 3, and if you have like a really good curve, you can do a turn 4 more often. It's turn 5. So have Cord for 1 available, or now 0 for Dryad Arbor potentially. They also have a pause. I think get combo killed. Not this turn, but we just can't all his dust next turn. So evolution, sack the Wall of Roots. Put a Yawgmoth into play. They haven't hit their land drop yet. Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to play Coffer's Leyline Scion. I don't think that you play a Scion on the board for Karn to go get. I was kind of thinking about it. We draw Eldrazi Temple all his dust, I guess. One Thought Knot instead of a Grapple to Traverse 4. Thought Knot sucks, it's just not a good card. After you have a brand new idea, what is the first step in building a new deck? I don't mean to laugh. I guess I don't know. Okay, so I mean I just start building, right? Brainstorm what like it depends on what the idea is, but you just build until you maximize the idea. Give it another evaluation once you feel like you're there. Is it good enough to play test? Is it not good enough to play test? If it is, then you start play testing, then you start refining, and then you decide, is it good enough for the stream? Is it not good enough for the stream? And you go from there. Start with lands. I usually do lands last. You don't really know like what lands you're gonna select exactly until you figure out what your spell suite is. Okay, down to 17. Pretty unlikely to get out of here. Out of game 1 with a win at this point. Ring protection doesn't really seem like it does anything. I should probably just concede, because like I could like, oh, maybe my opponents all the rest, all their chords and their blood artists are all like the bottom 5 cards or whatever. Feels like that just doesn't happen. Oh, you know what? I guess I could just mill their blood artist right now. That would probably translate to a win. Funny enough. It's like 3. I'll take it. More than 0. By keeping a spreadsheet of losses, wins versus archetypes helps figure out what matchups are bad. Yeah. Spreadsheets are good. For sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like if all their chords and the blood artist is just in the bottom 10 cards or whatever, 20 cards. Not even that. Not very likely though. Yeah, just show me the court. I always concede to the young wolf being tapped. Okay, Toadie's in. I'm gonna go down 2 rings this time. Maybe he's got 3 rings. Bringing in more artifacts. Ring is not super good in this matchup. I feel like I just want like the cheap enablers more than I want to just like sit behind the ring in this matchup. We can play 1. I have an idea, looking for some direction, so sit down and add cards. Yeah, I can't. It's the thing about like Magic is it's not like this. We're not in the chemistry lab. There's not like a formula I can show you or like the scientific process. It's a lot more abstract, and like without knowing like what your idea is, like I can't really give you a lot of guidance because it just kind of like all depends. Like when I started on this deck, like trying to build a like this deck went through like 12 iterations before we got a version that was like somewhat playable, and we trophied with it despite not being the best deck. And some decks are a lot simpler, and like it just depends. It just depends. Is delirium easier in this deck than collect evidence? I feel like analyze the pollen. Some land cyclers. I was testing. Oh, we found our one of ring, and it's awesome here. I was testing it, and the problem with Analyze the Pollen and Delirium were like similar in ease to turn on in my experience. It was about the same difficulty or whatever. So we could Grazer to ring next turn, or I could just slam the Toady. Let's slam the Toady. They're about the same difficulty to enable. And the problem is, of course, that Analyze the Pollen exiles a ton of cards from your graveyard, which is very awkward in your Emrakul deck. I want to sack all my lands to Bontu and bring them back with Analyst. Okay, I mean, this is not a good plan. I didn't know Bontu let you sack your lands. If you want to sack all your lands, you should Urza Saga for Zuranor, but that's a way to do it. This is, of course, one big reality of brewing is that most of your ideas are going to be bad. I think I'll just get the blocker out here. Most of my ideas are bad, Just take some time. Is generous int? Yeah, I had int in my Analyze the Pollen drafts of the deck. I don't think you really want to play that card without Analyze the Pollen. Jegantha, to me. Try Analyze the Pollen with Solitude, Lord of the Rings Cyclist, to fuel it. The problem is, like, when you put Analyze the Pollen in your deck, right? When you're playing this card, it's like a lot of work. It's a lot of work to register Analyze the Pollen. A lot of your deck construction has to be like you're warping your deck in a really, really big way. Nice top deck to register Analyze the Pollen. What is your payoff for registering the card? You can tutor Solitude on like turn 4. You get what are you doing with this card that is like worth playing all these like Lord of the Rings land cyclers, million tap lands. You could play Surveil lands as tap lands that are, like you're losing these maybe, or you're not getting to play as many as you could. It's just the question you gotta answer. So get their Dryad Arbor. Would all this be good in the Amulet Lotus deck? Maybe in the sideboard. I don't know. No, if you're gonna cast a 7-drop in that deck, you just cast Cultivator Colossus and win. Yeah, finally ripped the temple on time. I think after this league, we're going to pivot to the Seismic Assault Creativity deck. And then if we have time, which we'll probably... If we keep this pace, we'll have time. We'll do like one more league of Mono Black. Yeah, Totem subs Dryad Arbor for tapping for mana. Okay, so I'm taking 7. Their Cauldron's been... I guess it hasn't even really been working on my graveyard at all. But Jegantha should stop some of this aggression. Although... So we block here, they put a counter here to hit me for 5. I'm going down to 4. And then... Yeah, I guess they don't have lethal the following turn, but if they draw like almost any creature, they'll have lethal. Was dusting better than just playing Jegantha? Well, I was thinking I wanted to dust before I played Jegantha. Since I needed like this to come back and deal with the undead young wolves, but I don't know, maybe it was better. I guess any 1-power creature we are. Oh, we're dead. Any 1-power creature without a top deck. Wolverine still does not have a power. Cycle Explorer. Okay, so let's pick up Boseiju. Bit awkward that they get a Surveil land, probably. Puts another type in my yard, though. Also puts a Surveil land in play for me to maybe copy with Vesuva, but I'm probably copying something else. They put a Pendelhaven in the yard with their Underground Mortuary. 2 cards in their hand. What's the reason behind not playing a second totem? Seems better to play around Boseiju than Possible Force. I don't believe I've had a turn where I had 2 extra mana to play the Cursed Totem. If I did, I should have played it, but I didn't because I don't believe there was a turn where I had the extra mana. I would have probably hit the Dryad Arbor. I'm worried about the Cauldron targeting my graveyard and making Emrakul uncastable. But yeah, maybe Besiegeing the Arbor was okay. I'm not in the Modern Showcase on Saturday, unfortunately. But I will be playing a standard RCQ, so no stream this weekend again. Been playing a lot of paper tournaments lately, which has been fun. I think it's been important for me to do, especially now that they increased the number of PT invites. I'm like, now we're all like a little bit more incentivized to grind more, right? Discuss 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess if we draw another temple. All right, target the Arbor. Draw another temple though. We get there. I suppose it's gonna put me to 1. Surely they don't have Cauldron plus Bowmasters. Yeah, I like standard at the moment. I agree. Okay, I'm at 1. Eldrazi Temple. Okay. Now any untapped land that's not a fetch land. Let's meet Emrakul. Evolution of Bowmaster to play. Fancy, fancy, wancy. Okay, 3-2. We'll take it. Let's play the Seismic Assault Glorious deck. Am I playing standard? I'll keep it secret, I guess. Okay, so I've been working on this a little bit.